Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. How are you guys doing? Today I'm back for a news update regarding all the latest Inter related news. My laptop once again is broken, it's down. I have the Stefano Sensi of laptops, is always injured. But yeah, speaking of injuries, we can get straight into the latest injury related news for Inter, which is obviously the international break. It's like the Squid Games for Inter players. They always come back with some sort of illness, disease or something. And this international break is no different. And first of all, let's talk about Alexis Sanchez, El Niño Maravilla. Had a man of the match performance against Paraguay. And then next match, lo and behold, he gets injured. Pretty much the loop of his Inter career. Has good performances for Inter. Maybe even starts to get into form. Maybe even starts to get some starts at Inter. Goes international break, injury, and then the loop begins again. He tries to find the rhythm, takes some time to get back into the team. Might post some toxic, passive-aggressive Instagram post comparing himself to a Lamborghini in the sand or all that kind of stuff, whilst earning £7 million or euros net a year. This is frustrating with Sanchez. There's no doubting his ability, his pedigree, his mentality. Top player, still a really good player, still the best player technically in this team. But you just can't rely on the guy. He's getting to Stefano Sensi levels of injuries. And I've always said that. I remember when I was talking about last season when there was the rumored Dzeko Alexis swap, and I was saying that, of course, I don't want to swap these players, but Dzeko at least is reliable physically, and we've seen that already at Inter, apart from this recent injury, which we'll talk about. But what would you do with Sanchez, guys? Let me know in the comments below. Do you want to cancel his contract? There was rumors in the summer that Inter wants to, let him go on release him on the free. Then we don't have to pay his massive salary as well. Or do you still want to keep him in the squad as a potential rotational option, even though he's completely unreliable? Let me know down below. Next up, talking about his teammate for the Chile national team, the two little, Chilean brothers. Vidal is quite similar as well. Not as bad, but usually there's been a few international breaks where he comes back, with some knock or some sort of injury. But this time he's all right because he saved himself. High IQ, 1000 IQ move. He got himself sent off in the last match for Chile. And even by Arturo Vidal standard, this was, a crazy ass way to get sent off. I mean, his foot, Nigel de Jong would have been proud of this one, and Felipe Melo. I mean, his foot was above his head, and he was actually very apologetic afterwards, which was fair play to him. He didn't mean to do it. But yeah, straight red card in around 14th minute, 15th minute of the match. So he'll be nice and rested at least, so he could be in contention to start against Napoli. So he's not an injury concern for now. Moving back into Europe, one player I wanted to talk about quickly was Denzel Dumfries, who's showed positive signs of gaining back some confidence and good performances for the Netherlands under Louis van Gaal. He's a starter at right back in the 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 that the Netherlands play. So he's not technically playing the same position as he plays at Inter right now for them. And that is the position that he played mostly in his career for PSV. He always played as a right back. But it's good to see he got an assist against Montenegro, I believe it was. And from what I hear, he was one of the better players on the pitch as well. So good signs from Denzel Dumfries. Hopefully he can bring that form from the Netherlands into Inter. However, his teammate Stefan de Vrij, as you might have seen, in the 90th minute of that match where Dumfries got the assist against Montenegro, right, the last few kicks of the match, he pulls his hamstring or strains his hamstring. So he's definitely out for the Napoli match. And he's probably going to be out for the Shakhtar match as well, De Vrij. So we'll see. Hopefully he manages to recover. He's scheduled to come back for the Venezia match, but we'll see. There'll be updates on that on a daily basis. So he's definitely going to be a big miss, and we'll talk about in the next coming days in the previews who should start in De Vrij's place, of course, against Napoli. Moving on to the guy I mentioned earlier, Dzeko. He's been injured since the Milan derby before the international break. He had to come off with a slight injury. Then he went on international duty, weirdly enough. He should have just stayed at Inter really, but he didn't play any of the games for Bosnia, which is good. So he's had like 2 weeks of rest because he didn't play any games. And he had also like a strain, so nothing serious. And looks like he's back in contention for the Napoli match. Actually, before it looked like he wouldn't make it for the Napoli match, but it looks like tomorrow he might take full part in training session. Apparently at the moment he's only been doing part training session because he's back at the Inter training center. Yeah, and that's great news for Inter going into that match because of the other injuries. You do need Edin Dzeko to be there, and we've seen already how much we rely on this guy, which is not good. But Edin looks like he'll be starting against Napoli if he is fit. The other guy there's concern around is Bastoni. Alessandro Bastoni left the Italy camp as well, like Dzeko, due to the injury that also he picked up in the Milan derby. And but again, it wasn't anything serious, and it looks like he will be a strong contender to start the match. He's still a doubt, but it looks like he will be starting the match. There's rumors that he could be the one replacing De Vrij in the middle of the three rather than in his usual position on the left, and Di Marco coming in there. But we'll see how that works out. But then again, we can't have 2 out of the 3 being injured. At least Bastoni is there with Skriniar. That gives me a lot more peace of mind for sure. And then finishing off in South America once again, flying back to South America, Lautaro and Correa. Lautaro is still going through a worrying period of bad form. Usually for Argentina, he performs well for Argentina. You know, his goal scoring record for Argentina is top notch, and usually his performances are pretty good for them. But he's, from what I saw on Twitter, a lot of Argentinian fans not happy with his performances. No goals, his goal drought continues. It's been 7 matches for Inter, and I think now a few for Argentina as well. So it's getting worrying. But Lautaro, we know he's a streaky kind of player, and it'll just take 1 goal to reignite this guy, and then he'll go on a streak where he scores, you know, a few matches in a row. That's just how Lautaro is. But we still need Lautaro back. We need the real Lautaro back, and against Napoli, usually over the years, when I think about it, he has performed well, so we do need Lautaro back. Although there was a slight injury for him as well for Argentina, but it wasn't not serious, and he should be starting as well. In contention to start, of course, is Tucu Correa. Depending on how Dzeko is, how Lautaro is, he could be the wild card pick for the match. And he has no injury, because last few times on the international duties he got injured for Argentina, but this time he's alright. And he's had a lackluster international break. He's coming on as a substitute for Lautaro in the number 9 role for Argentina, which is weird. That's definitely not his position. But yeah, he's not been in great form. But you know, for Inter, he's shown glimpses, which we hope he can build on. Elsewhere, there's rumors that finally the meeting between Brozovic and Inter is finally going to happen. The agents of Brozovic and his team are going to meet with Inter. So hopefully that gets sorted soon. It's really important that situation gets cleared up before January comes around, where, you know, Brozovic is officially allowed to talk to other teams. But yeah, that was the news update for today. We'll do a proper preview for the Napoli match, of course. I'll try to do a live stream on my phone because my laptop is going to be out for a little while. But bear with me, guys. Keep supporting the channel. Make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Let me know your comments down below about the injury situation, the Sanchez situation, the Brozovic situation. And yeah, keep a lookout for future videos. Ciao ragazzi, Forza Inter.